Where are we going?
North.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Therapeutic benefit in role-playing games.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, baby. Your presence requested in exchange for treasures.
Ripper.
Are we talking one treasure each?
Count that.
Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. We are in the middle of our show, Detective Toilets. Last we left our characters, they were down in the dumps. We had everybody pseudo-unconscious with the exception of Mericana, who had seen it all and was unfazed by the scene and just kind of stands there observing. So,
waiting for Kohler's inevitable betrayal.
Gerber is unconscious on top of the stinker. Toto is recovering from getting smashed by the whoopee cushion airbag. And Kohler has sprayed himself to protect himself from the stink gas and is recovering. So 2 inside recovering, Gerber out cold on top of the stinker, Mericana in the back, totally fine.
Mericana definitely suspicious that Kohler just happened to have a spray to counter the gas that we were encountering. Very suspicious.
I mean, who doesn't have poopery? It's doubly effective as mace against non-toilets, so, you know. Kohler's starting to, like, kind of sort of come to, looking out the window of the crumpled crapmobile. Looking out the window, I see Gerber on top of the stinker. The detective comes back to me, you know, like I kind of get my wits about me. Step outside of the car, and I'm gonna grab handcuffs because he's still human, right? The stinker is human.
Yep. Yes, the stinker is human.
That's what I thought. Gonna grab handcuffs and walk over and try to push Gerber off a little bit, or try and like roll him off and handcuff the stinker.
Okay, yeah, that's no problem. You can easily push him off.
Okay,
you just like shove him off.
As I'm handcuffing the stinker, like you hear the click of the cuffs and everything, and you're like, you know what, stinker? A scale of 1 to 100, 100 being the best. Where do you think you rank the actual villain scale here in the world?
So the stinker is like coming to from his own stink gas.
I don't even give him time to respond, and I just look at him and go, "You're an 8."
So the stinker kind of like chuckles to himself, and he tells you yellow. Oh, you asked me where I rank in terms of villainy. From 1 to 100, I think that I rank as yellow.
I was right. You're an 8. And put him into the back of the crumpled up crapmobile because I don't know where else to put him right now.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so you put him into the back. Toto, I'm sure, is like built in some sort of like, you know, device to keep him in place.
Oh yeah, there's like definitely like a holding pen or like an electrified cell.
That works.
Yeah, definitely electrified like that. So you just like shove him in, then you just see like very obviously like where like lightning is like around the metal bars in cartoons.
Yeah, it's
just like
obvious.
Yeah, this is electrified. You enter down into the sewers. You're like walking along, and there are like mega speakers like built in to the sewers, and they're not from the city. They're from Reinhold, so he can like talk to you. And so he sees you all coming in, and he starts laughing. Ah, the toilets. I wondered when you'd come.
It almost gave me a shard attack.
Yes. See, I have perfected my ultimate weapon against you.
Us?
And what is that?
And as you ask that, from another like side corridor of the sewers, you see an all black toilet like come around the corner, and he's dressed in like a detective's outfit.
Excuse me. I think you owe me a little bit of an apology, Mericana.
And then all of a sudden, Mericana just like throws off the overcoat, and there's no change except now there's just like a goatee in the front of him, and he's just like, oh no, my deep cover has been broken. I've really been living the life of Vladimir Sven Putin for the last 15 years. And then he just starts to like shake and just kind of like walks off a little bit.
Awesome. See, he's seen it all, but he's seen too much of it all.
He's seen too much.
So this new toilet is unexpected. I mean, maybe you expected it. But Reinhold announces this is Duravit, the ultimate toilet. I've gathered the DNA of all 4 of you and made an amalgamation who is all of your powers combined and better. So this new toilet, you see him like run up like the side of the sewer, like up to the ceiling and do like a perfect backflip and land. And he like turns his head to you, like being like, look what I did. He doesn't have a head, but like as fellow toilets, you like all interpret it like he's like showing off and being like, what's up?
Man, he's cool. How did you get our skid marks, Reinhold?
Yeah. I have been collecting samples for years, sending my agents, especially Veronica Bidet.
Ah, no,
She's a double agent on double duty.
not Veronica. No.
I know this is like horrible news that she collected your DNA against you.
And Reinhold, your little bathroom trick is no more impressive than an airport toilet.
That's saying this, Dervit is like, he's just so insulted and he charges you. So we're gonna have this action scene. You do see that there are like panels that like open up in the sewers with like, they're basically just turrets that are now like going to like aid Dervit in this action scene against you. So he's going to make the first attack and it's going to be against Gerber specifically after that insult. So you'll roll opposed checks. Dervit has Jack of all trades, combat technique, strategist, and shadow dancer for his abilities. So here I'm going to use combat technique to fight against Gerber.
So it's a 5 plus 4, it's a 9. I can't add star power to that, right?
You have 1 oomph left, which you could burn that last oomph to add plus 3.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, so you use your oomph.
As they say,
so,
let her rip.
yeah, let her rip.
Who wants some of the ripper?
You go, like he comes at you, you go to charge him with pure force. You use your oomph, you do like a flying drop kick, and he comes at you. It seems like you're going to smash him directly in the face when he does this like side spin and uses your own power against you, and he continues to push you and you go slamming into the sewer wall. He turns around and looks at the rest of you. Who's next, toilets?
Mericana, and I just shoot him.
Oh, actually, and Gerber gets 1 setback token. This is going to be your guys' first one. So once you have more than your star power, you are out of the combat scene.
Ooh.
So his current setback token, the setback is he got slammed into the wall using his own maximum force and has shaken himself. Mericana is going to pull out his gun and shoot at him.
Yep.
So he is going to roll against that using Shadow Dancer to tempt his dodge.
So my trait expert shot is a 3. I rolled a 10, so I got a 13. You know what? I'm gonna add some oomph to it as well to add my star power, so 16.
Nice. That was the right move. He had gotten a 13. So you add the oomph of the shot, like you see him lining up, and he begins like dancing in the shadows, like he's going to like dodge it. And then you take that extra second, you're like, Mericana. and you line it up just right, and you hit him like mid-air as he's like going to do this spin dodge, gets hit by it. He receives a setback token. And he's been shot, so you see like a crack in like his toilet. Ooh, lucky shot.
Yeah, I think Toto's gonna take out one of his special grenades. He developed he calls it the swirly dirly, and it's like a gravity grenade. So he like throws it out, it kind of like opens like a trap, and it like sucks in things and then explodes.
Nice. You pull out that grenade, you toss it. He is going to counter it using I say like Shadow Dancer again. He's going to attempt to get out of range of the swirly dirly before it sucks him in.
So is this an opposed roll then?
Yes.
So I have Swiss Army upgrades, which I have a 4 in. I'm going to add my star power to the roll using oomph. I got a 9 on the die, plus 4 is 13, plus 3 is 16.
Nice. All right. So you throw it in. He only has a 10. So he gets like sucked in, and then it hits him, and he explodes back outward. He slams into one of the side walls of the sewer, and he gets like his lid falls off, and he like pulls himself up. He like, you can tell that he's fuming, even though he doesn't have a face. So then he's like, I can take all you got.
Okay, so I feel like where this is this is like an 80s cartoon. There should be some sort of a cereal tie-in here. So like cereal as in breakfast. And so I have a balanced fighting style. So like we're going to say that Kohler has a little bit of martial arts training. And he's going to use a combination of two different martial arts. Use your imagination. And two different martial arts in a balanced way to take him out. And as he's done, he like holds up a box of Shardies and he's like, Shardies, it's a well-balanced breakfast. And he continues just beating him up.
All right, so you're going to roll your balanced fighting style. He is going to go to counter that using combat technique.
Okay. So I have so it's a 6 on the die plus 2, and then I'll spend an oomph to make that an 11. Because it's a base of 3 with you spend an oomph, right?
So it's whatever your star power is. So yeah, in this case,
so 3. Okay.
Okay, so he rolls a 14 as the opposed. So you come forward and you go and you're like exchanging all of these invisible blows. So it's just like the toilet's kind of like angling around like randomly. And Kohler gets a little too distracted, turns around and is offering up Shardies to the viewer. And that's when, Duravit just like pushes to like create distance between you so that you don't actually injure him and you're not injured yourself either. And he just kind of like skids backward.
What a skid mark.
Yeah, what a skid mark. So back to Derby. You see him like pull from his lid. There's just like a little remote control with a big red button. And you see the red button pressed down and all of the machine gun turrets just open fire on all of the toilets. So everybody will roll how they avoid the turrets or counter them.
So I got a 9 on the die. I'm going to use that with good instincts, which brings me up to a 12. And the good instincts are, I open up my lid, and the lid is just a bulletproof vest. I'm able to use the lid as like almost like a shield, I guess, and kind of just like angle myself in such a way where the lid is a bulletproof shield.
Yeah, I mean, the realism's one. Like, you just put like a bulletproof vest on like the top part of your being, and you're just bulletproof.
There we
so
go.
like, it's just there, and then like bullets like hit you, and you're just like, all good.
So I would like to petition to use my convincing undercover because I still have my goatee on. So the machine guns still see me as Vladimir Ben's Putin, and they're not targeting me because I'm a friendly. Oh, that's you know what? I will add more oomph to that too. Really sell my my undercover disguise to give myself a +3 from my star power. So that would be a total of 12.
Nice. Yeah, so the turrets just don't shoot at you. you see like the goatee like get like a quick stroke somehow.
Mm-hmm. Totally. It kind of just glistens in the fluorescent lights.
Yes.
So I rolled a 6. I'm going to add a 4 to that. So that's... oh wait, no, Could I use Mighty Force for that, or is that just an attack?
So like what would you do with Mighty Force to like avoid the bullets?
Just to like add a ton, like a powerful jump to like spin and that kind of thing, to like dodge the. Like I'm gonna like Neo it or something to try to.
Okay, so all right, so you just want to like use the Force to leap so far away from the turrets that they can't hit you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. Again, like the realism's 1, so like for you to just like suddenly jump like 20 feet, I think is totally reasonable.
So that's a 10.
10. Okay, nice. So you just like you look up at the turrets and you see like the toilet like slightly scrunches a little bit as if it's like you're bending your knees, and then all of a sudden you just like rocket like like M. Bison like spinning through the air to like avoid like all of the bullets. And all right, Toto.
Yeah, so I'm going to. So I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'm always wearing wraparound shades and like a NASCAR hat. So one unique feature of my wraparound shades is it can turn into body armor. So I have a trait called body armor. And so I well, I don't have a hand, but you know what I mean. You see the little thing on the side of my shades go boop, and it kind of just like expands out, and I get like this like shiny plexiglass sort of like sheen around me. and then I'm going to use that to deflect the armor. So let me roll, and I'm going. It was a 5, but I don't like that, so I'm going to use my oomph, which I have 2 left, I believe, and I'm going to re-roll. That's a 12 on the die.
Nice. Yeah, that'll definitely be enough. So you deflect all of the bullets. So Dervit's there. He's taken the beating. He's let loose with the turrets, and you've perfectly managed to avoid all of the danger here. So let's say that you make a team attack where you're gonna like all converge on him, and just like quickly describe like your contribution.
So I think Mericana will just kind of like step up next to him and then rip off the goatee and is like, it was me, Detective Mericana, all along. And then I shoot him.
I'll draw my gun and I'll also shoot him.
I'm gonna hit him with the brass knuckles and just go, like I said, cheap airplane toilet. Who's your plumber now? And then I hit him. So.
Yeah, and I too am just going to shoot him.
Yes. All right. So after avoiding all the bullets, 3 of the toilets just like pull out their different guns and just like all like line up and just like shoot him. And Dervit's taking the hits, and Gerber steps up for that last hit and says, finishes off, who's your plumber now? And cracks him like directly over the top, and he falls over. And Reinhold, you hear echoing, no matter, I shall just create another. And you see like Dervit there, and he's like, I just want it to be the best toilet. And then you suddenly have like this like flashback. The show cuts away to where Dervit was created, and Reinhold's telling him this like fake story of how he was born like one of the toilets alongside them, and they abandoned him, and Reinhold's like his true father, and like he cares for him and all this stuff. So it's kind of like, you know, a Green Ranger situation here, where it's just like the extra character who is, you know, corrupted but then could be redeemed in the future. The episode wraps up, you like learn all of this, and it's going to be like a 2-parter where it's like, you know, now we know like the title is like The Dark Toilet or something like that, part 1. And the credits begin to roll. And if anyone have anything to add, any closing comments?
So I'm gonna say like, you know how like Bob Barker would always say like spay neuter your pets. So I'm just gonna go, always take good care of your plumbing.
So Americana, you'll see just like at the edge of an alleyway, and you see the collar of the overcoat just kind of go up a little bit, and then all of a sudden this curly mustache just kind of like comes in, and a wig gets plopped on the top of his toilet bowl, and he just walks into the darkness of the alleyway.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.